Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. Last night I did a video on the shooting hoax in South Carolina. I'm happy to say that that video is already my most well-received shooting video that I've been doing since I launched this video blog in August. If you can recall, I launched the video blog in August because I really wanted to document the hoax surrounding Michael Brown. I was so upset that people were being fooled by this hoax. And again, I've been doing my written blog since 2013, documenting all of these shooting hoaxes and more. Anyway, in the video I did yesterday, it's been well received. It already has more likes than any shooting video I've ever done. It's already up to 1,500 views. It should surpass that very quickly. I've never had a video this successful this fast, so that's encouraging. It tells me people are waking up. But in yesterday's video, we didn't have the name of the suspect. CNN hadn't released the grainy image. I mean, how dumb do they think we are to keep giving us these images, these grainy images of suspects? Photos look like they were taken in 1980 when the year's 2015, and even the shittiest cell phone camera now has a bazillion pixels in it. You know what I mean? Just treating us like we're morons, because these aren't even real people. Photoshop. But anyway, in yesterday's video, I pointed out all the numerological significance and showed how it was syncing up with the coming Pope visit on September 23rd and how it also seemed to be connected to all the other Lupercalia stories. Well, just wait until what I show you, Truth Seeker. There's no doubt that this is a numerological hoax. For those of you who are saying you can see it's a hoax, but you don't think the numerology part's real, you need to become more open-minded and wake up to what's really going on in this world. Numerology is one of the most important things in all of these shooting hoaxes. If you go back to my first video, I've been talking about the numbers 33, 47, 74, 44, 26, and in all these shooting hoaxes, they show up. Remember, in South Carolina, we recently had the Walter Scott shooting hoax. He was wearing a green shirt, this number, it's not just numbers, it's colors. There's so many layers to these hoaxes. But anyway, that shooting was on April 4th, the 47-year anniversary of the Martin Luther King assassination. Martin Luther King Jr. died at the age of 39. His name, Martin Luther King Jr., equaled 93, just like Malcolm X, just like Rosa Parks, just like the mayor over in Philadelphia, Michael Anthony Nutter, just like so many black Americans. If you know a black American who's ever been famous and on TV, their name probably sums to 93. From Beyonce to Bob Marley to a whole lot more. Why? Because Zionist Jews put these numbers on their agents and have them go out and sell their propaganda. The word propaganda equals 93. And if you're asking, well, what propaganda did Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X do? I'll tell you what they did. They taught everyone to be too nice. They taught everyone nonviolence. Well, guess what? Nonviolence doesn't work when you're ruled by a gang of ruthless thugs who use violence, deception, and every nasty trick in the book to rule humanity, which is exactly what's going on this planet right now, which is why we get shooting stories provoking a race war that are all made up on bullshit. Anyway, from April 4th to June 17th is a span of 74 days. The word Masonic equals 74. And the shooting was on Calhoun Street. 110 Calhoun Street. 110's a very special number. Let me tell you about it. The World Trade Centers that came crashing to the ground came down 110 stories. Those buildings were 110 stories tall. Before September 11th, the biggest boogeyman ever told about was Adolf Hitler. Well, the name Osama bin Laden and Adolf Hitler both sum to 110. In the case of Adolf Hitler, he was born on April 20th, the 110th day of the year. The word president also equals 110. Adolf Hitler was the president of Germany. These numbers they use over and over. Why? Because they're the Freemasons. These numbers have much meaning to them. Calhoun equals 74. The shooting was on Calhoun Street 74 days after the Walter Scott shooting. Also notice in Jewish gematria it sums to 322, like Yale's skull and bones number. Like the verse in the Bible that man shouldn't have knowledge. It's where this comes from. Well, the man you're listening to has some knowledge. I figured out what these Freemason fucks are up to. And I wish more people would wake up and stop dismissing my message, because it's been on point since 2013 when I started this written blog. Also, with regards to the number 74, it's very much connected to Christianity. This was a shooting in a Christian church. The word Christian in Pythagorean sums to 47. The reverse of that, Jesus equals 74, cross equals 74, Yeshua, the Greek spelling, Joshua, the English translation of Jesus, Muhammad, from the Quran sums to 74. It's the 47th book of the Quran. Messiah equals 74. Pinnacle equals 74. Lucifer equals 74. And the reason this is so is because the Freemasons are in control of science, religion, the media, culture. We live in their world, a world that they've been building for thousands of years. We speak their language. We're on their date calendar system. This stuff's no joke. Truth Seeker, the Walter Scott shooting was on April 4th. If you write out the word 44 in Summit, it sums to 144. If you write out the date April 4th in Summit, it sums to 144. Think about Obama, the 44th president. The first president to ever die in office died on April 4th, just like Martin Luther King. That was William Henry Harrison, the 9th president. There were 9 shooting victims in this church hoax story. So anyway, in yesterday's video, I pointed out how this shooting is 98 days until September 23rd. One of the key details in this story is that the shooter was wearing Timberland boots. And not to sound racist, but as a kid growing up in the 80s and 90s, I remember, and I grew up in a black neighborhood, I remember how big Timberland boots, black men love Timberland boots. So when I heard that detail, I thought, more race baiting, more playing up on this race thing. Well, check this out, Truth Seeker. Timberland sums to 98 in simple English gematria. Just like Lupercalia, this festival on the 44th day of the year. Lupercalia is on the 44th day of the year. I've been doing a lot of videos on this. Please look for my videos on Lupercalia when you're done with this. Go back and watch everything I presented about the Philadelphia train crash, the NBA Finals, and more. The Triple Crown, it's all connected to Lupercalia this year. Lupercalia and Timberland both sum to 44 with Pythagorean gematria, the other method. Again, this festival's on the 44th day of the year. The word kill equals 44. Think about Walter Scott being shot on 4/4. Think about Martin Luther King being assassinated April 4th. Stuff's not a joke. Obama ran on Hope, the 44th president. Here's Hope in gematria, Truth Seeker. Hope's 44. What do you know? Just like faith and karma. I'm not sure any of those words are good things. In this world, a lot of people say, I believe in karma, but why do you believe in karma? Have you ever taken a look around? You're listening to the voice of a good person. My whole life, I've been fucked over for being a good person. This is true of most good people. Meanwhile, most villains, most awful people I know, they're flourishing in this world. So I don't believe in faith, hope, karma, none of that. I believe in personal accountability, taking control of a situation, speaking out, the things I do. Hope, faith, and karma are for people who aren't about action, is what I say. Little rant there. Again, this shooting comes 98 days before the Pope's visit on September 23rd. This stuff is just getting coded over and over. The victim with the grainy image from 1980, I'll show you what's curious about him. His name is Dylann Roof, and I've never, it's with 2 N's, Truth Seeker. It's still 52 with 2 N's. I meant to write a second in there. Anyway, Dylann Roof, Pythagorean gematria, sums to 52. Just like Pope in simple English gematria, this shooting seems to be connected to the Pope's visit. And around the time the Pope's visiting, there will be the 4th blood moon on September 28th, 2015. Also a 52 connection, close to when the Pope comes on September 23rd. 52 is a number of focus for those of you who don't watch my videos, are new here. All year I've been saying the numbers 52 and 144 are of great importance. They tie to the royal family. It's another layer. Please go through my video blog. Watch my video on Prince William turning 33 on the summer solstice, June 21st, if you want to learn about that. The way Dylan is spelled in gematria has some interesting numerological values. What's interesting about 70 is that if you write it out and sum it, it sums to 110. Remember, this shooting was at 110 Calhoun Street. Also, 420 connects to Hitler, his birthday, the 110th day of the year. What I'm saying, Truth Seeker, is the way they make up these names is how they sync with the other facts of the story. And as we know, 110 is a detail because the shooting's at 110 Calhoun Street. So that's why his name is Dylann with the double N, I guarantee you, because these two numbers are connected to 110. As for 505, that's a lot like 55, another number of significance, multiple of 11. The name Roof, Dylann Roof, it's most interesting in Pythagorean gematria Roof because O and O are the 15th letter, 1 plus 5 becomes 6, F is the 6th letter, so it's a name that has this 9666 numerology in it. The sum of 54 in simple English matches words such as love and sun, numbers connected to Thelema, which worships the number 93 about do what thou wilt. In this case, he was arrested in Shelby, North Carolina, which has a gematria of 93, and with the S exception, 102. Both of those numbers are connected to United States of America, which is very much connected to Thelema and do what thou wilt. 93, 102. What do you know? Also, Truth Seeker, they said that they caught him at about 11:15 a.m. Imagine you're looking at a clock with hands. When the hour hand's on the 11, the minute hand would be on the 3. And 113 is a number they love to code into hoaxes. With regards to Michael Brown, he was shot in front of the Cantfield Green Apartments, which sums to 113. Boston Marathon bombing happened at 2:49 in the afternoon or 11 till 3. Anyway, in all these big hoaxes that we're presented with, they always code these same numbers. The word mainstream equals 113. The word green screen equals 113. The word dishonest equals 113. The first victim name they've released, the first victim they've released, his name has this familiar gematria. And all these stories are pointing to September. So, we'll see what comes of it. Also, from my video yesterday, Truth Seeker, check this out. Ashley Kilo was the producer for the news segment about the initial hoax of a story. Ashley Kilo, it even has the word kill in it, the story about killing. Notice that her name in Pythagorean gematria sums to 66, with the S exception 75. This is a lot like South Carolina. South Carolina with Pythagorean sums to 57, and with the S exception 66. All of these numbers are important. Of the first 6 presidents, 4 were inaugurated at the age of 57, including George Washington. The name George equals 57. This connects to the moon. The moon's on a 19-year cycle with the Earth. So every 3 full cycles of it are 57 years. The word moon has a simple English gematria of 57. And yes, all this stuff has been named according to the numbers and the significance that they have. Also, what I want to point out, Truth Seeker, that I didn't catch the first time I watched this is that the train is E106. Here, I zoomed it up. It's a little bit blurry. You can watch it. It's clear in the footage. It's E106. And why this is curious is because, like I said, this syncs up with the Philadelphia train crash and the Pope's coming visit. I know it's a lot of information, but if you watch the videos, it will all become clear. This train, remember, the train was traveling at 106 miles per hour, and the train was number 601, like 106 in reverse, and they said it was traveling 106 miles per hour. I want to point out that the word church has a gematria of 61, kind of like 106 if you get rid of the 0 and flip it around, or 601. In Revelation, which we just talked about, how it's connected to September, Philadelphia is one of 7 churches. And this is a shooting at a church, right? So we see how these numbers apply. Notice how in the coding of church, C and H create the 3-8 combination, 3-8. Yesterday's date, 6/17/15, has a 38 connection. The main anchor on it for CNN has been Don Lemon, who has a Pythagorean gematria of 38. It should be noted that the word death equals 38 as well. Once upon a time, Tupac and Notorious B.I.G. were both killed in close proximity, both dying on dates with 38 numerology. God in Jewish gematria equals 61, like church in simple English gematria. God in English gematria sums to 156, just like the name Walter Scott, and just like South Carolina, which I showed in yesterday's video. See, Truth Seeker, this numerology is super important, and so is paying attention to colors. And this guy having a money symbol on there is no coincidence, because all these shooting hoaxes make major money. They get rating dollars, they get commercials, they help all the people who think that that somebody's coming for their guns. They make them go out and buy more guns and ammunition. This is how it really works in America, and everyone just keeps getting fooled and suckered in. NRA in simple English gematria equals 33. Police equals 33. And they're sponsors of all these shooting hoaxes. Remember the Newtown shooting? Here, I'm going to do this one in Pythagorean. N's the 14th letter. 1 plus 4 becomes 5. E's the 5th. W's the 23rd. 2 plus 3 becomes 5. T's the 20th. 2 plus 0 becomes 2. O's the 15th. 1 plus 5 becomes 6. W's 5 again. N's 5 again. Newtown sums to 33, and Newtown is home of the nation's second biggest gun lobby to the NRA. And recall, in the Newtown shooting, there were 26 victims. All that's in this word in gematria are 5s and then a 2-6. It turns out everything about Newtown, Connecticut is connected to 26, which is the God number. Please go back and see those videos. Again, the 33 here, the first spokesman was Mayor Joe Riley. Riley's a 33 name. It's just so repetitive, Truth Seeker. The police chief, Greg Mullen, sums to 119, like Star of David. It's the Zionist Jews who are behind the media, behind the police departments, Freemasons, Zionist Jews. Of course, police are dial 911. And again, the span of days from the shooting to September 23rd, 98 days. Timberland equals 98. We're seeing 98 coded into everything. It's another black and white story. 113, mainstream 113, dishonest 113, green screen 113. This is how these Jews got us. And grainy images and lies. Hold on, Truth Seeker. I'm going to be back with one more thing for an encore. Right, Truth Seeker. Encore. With regards to the other recent South Carolina shooting story of Walter Scott, he was shot by Michael Slager. Look at Michael Slager in gematria. Another 113. This guy was shown in the mainstream media with this image with his pant leg rolled up. This is a Freemason tradition, a ritual, an initiation. The police are ran by the Freemasons. The name Michael in Pythagorean gematria is 33, just like police, just like the highest degree of Scottish Rite Freemasonry. Should be noticed that the word Scottish equals 113. The police departments are ran by Freemasons, Truth Seeker. I live in Washington State. In my town, the Freemason Lodge is directly across the street from the police station. And the Freemasons are fucking with me in my town, these police officers, for the research I'm doing. Further proof that what I'm doing is on point, because I have the attention of the authorities who have been fucking with me. My house was robbed on November 15th, 3 days after I did a video on the school shooting in Marysville up by my house. We are under attack, Truth Seeker, by Freemasons, and we need to wake up and identify the enemy. They run the whole show. Where was he arrested? In North Carolina, where they got the Freemason compass on their badge? It's all of them. Here's South Carolina. The Masons run the police department. It's why police equals 33. And they run way more than the police department. They run the whole fucking show. They run this sick world. It's why the world is sick. Because these people worship Satan. They believe in ruling through dividing and conquering, which is why they're doing all these white on black stories. If you haven't seen the actual video of the Walter Scott shooting hoax, go back and watch it. Right now, in this little part right here, the cops already probably shot 6 bullets. Walter Scott's still running. And notice, there's nothing on his back, just like when he gets arrested. Biggest joke there ever was. Anybody who falls for it's a fucking sheep. End of discussion. So sick of this stuff. And I'm sick of people coming here and commenting and going, I don't know about this numerology. I don't know about this numerology. How about fucking go back to school, go back to 3rd grade, learn how to read, write, and add. This stuff's a foregone conclusion. All right, until next